Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. And today we have Melody from the Girls Inc. joining us. How are you, Melody?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, I can't complain. It's a good day. How first before we get started with everything, how's quarantine been for you?
It has been interesting to say the least, I would say. Definitely a shift in kind of personal life, Girls Inc. life. So I think we're doing our best, doing it day by day.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody has had to adjust to pretty much their day-to-day operation. So when when you guys first got the notice that all right, we're gonna have to shut down the Girls Inc. for a while, no programs, no in-person visits. What was the strategy or the plan that you guys put together when everything was unfolding?
Yeah, so our first rule of business was really just kind of closing down our building, just kind of keeping everything safe, keeping everyone out of the building. So our first day that we were closed was Friday, March 13th. So on that day, we kind of were like, yep, no more programs for however long. And what we did was we took about a week or two to kind of come up with our full game plan. And after those 2 weeks, we actually started our first week of Zoom programming. So we've just been using Zoom and online platforms just to stay connected to our girls. And that's kind of how all of the Girls Inc. programs have really shifted, but it was a pretty quick turnaround time.
Yeah. How did the parents of the girls? How did they help or how did they participate in helping you guys get adjusted?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that parents can do is really just support their girls and making sure that they communicate their needs with us. So one of the first things we did was send out a survey to all of our families, to all of our girls to really assess where the need was. And so that could be things like, hey, we need cleaning supplies, or I don't have a laptop at home. So kind of doing that initial assessment, but open communication with parents is really the only way we're able to do that. And I think we're very lucky. We do have some really invested parents. So I
Mhm.
think that support and also just the girls' enthusiasm for Girls Inc. in general too. I mean, this place is their home too. But yeah, so anytime we can connect to our family, we're reaching out to our families and our girls every week.
Yeah, because it's a pretty hard adjustment for the girls because after schools they're there 5 days a week every day after schools, and then for everything to just kind of change now they're not seeing all their friends all the time, and the times they see them is virtual. So I could imagine how the adjustment was not only for the girls but only for the staff too who work close with the young ladies.
Yes, absolutely. And our staff has really gone above and beyond to do everything they can do, whether it's shifting completely what programs we're running. We really had to shift how we think about everything. We had to kind of keep that mindset behind us of how we've done things in the past and really be innovative and creative with our programming because it's online to keep the girls engaged and to keep them coming and building those relationships with us.
Now, tell me about the programs that you guys began to put together, the online programs. Just tell me about some of the programs.
Yeah, so as far as middle school, which is the group I supervise, each week we have about 12 programs that we run, and those are an hour each. So we focus in the afternoon. So we have things like STEM discovery with our STEM coordinator, where the girls are kind of learning about up and coming things in the STEM fields. They're learning about careers and things like that. We also have weekly tutoring, book club. We have classes on healthy sexuality, travel, culture, mentoring, mental health, mindfulness. We kind of got all of the things going on right now. Thanks to we have a lot of really good volunteers and our staff. And the school age child program and the teen programs are doing something very similar,
Hmm.
where they're also offering a lot of programs every week. And these are all optional for the girls, so they're not required to come. But we have been getting really good attendance. The girls are still showing up, whether it's for trivia, a fun Friday activity, things like that. And in our teen programs, our peer leadership groups have been critical to pushing out lessons to our younger girls and just staying involved. And we've also been doing lots of virtual field trips, which is nice because the girls have a really unique opportunity to travel to places that they wouldn't be able to before.
Yeah, what are some of the places that you guys traveled to with the virtual field trips?
So One of the first ones we did was actually to China. So the staff person, her name's Ariana. She is the one, she does travel and culture with Ariana on Fridays. And she has done a lot of traveling personally. So she kind of makes this meld of, these are some, maybe this is a museum we could look at, or this is a wildlife preserve, things like that. But she was actually living in China for a couple years, so she was able to share her personal stories and photos to really get the girls personally in touch with her, keep that relationship, but also feel like they're exploring. So it's been really fun.
Yeah. For you just, correct me if I'm wrong, you just, not recently, but you're new to the position, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. I've been here since November, so it's been interesting.
Yeah, tell me how the adjustment for you getting into that new role and steady, advancing and building, and then you get to March and everything's like what you had going on. You had to put it on pause.
Yes, definitely. I was kind of feeling like I was getting in my groove, and then it was like, oh, we got to do something different. So I come from a background, before I worked at Girls Inc., I was an outpatient therapist, and I also worked in academic advising. So a lot of what I've actually done in the past is online learning, both as a student and as a teacher. So as I kind of was thinking, well, how can we shift this? I think I was really tapping into those skills of online platforms that college students use and things like that. So I think that was definitely great to have, but it's still really frustrating and difficult to figure out the Girls Inc. way of things too. But I think just being able to really rely on my staff and my supervisor, Lena, as well. But I think it was just about as smooth as it could have gone. So I'm feeling very thankful for that.
And for your role, what are some of the key components of your role, of fulfilling your role?
Yep, so I supervise all of our middle school programs. And so that comes down to all of our academic enrichment activities that we run both after school, in person, kind of how we were doing things before, supervising our staff, checking in with our peer mentors, or our peer advisor groups, and also coordinating our mentoring program, which we've been able to successfully continue to do. So we're doing virtual mentoring as well, which is obviously very new for us too. So basically, I make sure things keep going. I keep us organized. I schedule and market our special events and things like that too.
All right, now we're also getting into the phase where everything is slowly starting to open up. The state is slowly starting to open up week by week. Everything's going to open up. So what was, and you guys is planning on opening back up, what are the steps that you guys are taking to ensure the safety of all your girls? Because you guys have a lot of girls that come in the program, and there's also a lot of activities that you guys do that involves the girls being close with each other, or just everybody all in one room. So what are the measures you guys taking forward to moving forward as everything opens back up?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're relying on guidance from EEC, which is the Early Education and Childcare. That's what our school age program is licensed under. And so we're just kind of waiting on some additional guidance from them, which we actually should be receiving this week, on kind of what teacher to student ratio we have to have, things like that. If we are able to kind of open for this summer, we've already decided that our middle school and teen programs are going to be fully online. And that's including having all of the middle school and teen program staff working from home. So we're looking at working from home probably until August or so. As far as those two programs, with our school-aged care, we're looking at keeping classes really, really small. And so we're shooting for opening our school-aged care this summer, hopefully. And once we figure that out, we've already started to think about, okay, well, how are we going to get personal protective equipment for all of our staff, our volunteers, and our students as well. And one of the big considerations is just like overall sanitizing. So figuring out, okay, what is our process for right when we walk in the building, what do we need to do? So right now, where we don't have any girls in the building, staff are still able to go in and out as minimal as possible, not to work from the office, but just to kind of pick things up if we need to. And so we have our sign-in sheet, so that way you can look and see who else is actually in the building at any given time. That way you can make that decision, hey, there's too many people in the building right now, I need to come back later. And we'll be doing something similar, I imagine, for our childcare program and figuring out spatially. I think
Yeah.
it's really difficult with the young kids too, because they touch things and each other, and they're very hands-on.
Yeah.
And so obviously this summer will be a little bit different, where last summer and in previous years for Eureka, at least for middle school, we were able to go on at least one field trip a week. And so that's going to be really different. And for the school age, they'd be able to go on a beach field trip every week.
Mm-hmm.
And so the safety protocols for that will be a little bit different, where we can't have all the kids in the gym all together and things like that. And so one of the ways we're kind of figuring out is the entrance and exit and the flow of traffic within the building.
Okay.
Just like you've kind of seen in supermarkets where they have like the arrows, like, yep, this is a one-way.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing to kind of control where and how groups are getting around the building, and really containing specific groups to specific areas so we don't have everyone kind of everywhere. So there will be specific assignments for both the girls and for staff, anyone who's coming in and out, and also providing PPE for staff as well as the girls.
Yeah, because the classes, I'm assuming that when you guys have classes, there's many kids in the classes, so I know that's one thing when speaking to some of the other organizations that deal with young teens, young kids, they're going to cut down their class size, how many people they're going to have in a classroom. So there's a good, and there's going to be a little adjustment, not for the staff, but probably more so for the students, because I don't think they're ever going to be used to seeing so many a small amount of them in one class.
Yes, it's definitely very rare, but I think it's actually a blessing in disguise, because we're really able to give the girls that one-on-one that maybe they wouldn't be able to get before. So I think that there's definitely some positives we can take out of that.
All right. Now, what are some of the other things that you guys got going on during this time? What are some of the other stuff that you guys been working on?
Yeah, so we actually, next week, we have our celebration luncheon, which we normally have in person in April. And so we were, of course, not able to host that. And that's one of our biggest fundraising events of the year, where we can really connect to our volunteers, our supporters, everything like that. But in the last couple of weeks, we've just kind of been working on how can we still have this, so that way we can have the girls there, which they don't get to go before. So I think it's a really unique opportunity there. And so next week, it's actually next Thursday, it's open to whoever would like to join, and the link's right on our website. But we'll be honoring our girl heroes, and we also have an alumna speaker and lots of other things going on. So our focus is just staying connected to our girls, to our families, and to all of our supporters as well, just kind of building that transparency. But other than regular programming, just last night, we actually hosted a screening of Push Out film, which is about the criminalization of Black girls in schools. And so we were very lucky we were able to host that event last night. We had a lot of girls and parents join. So we've really been trying to utilizing technology for kind of whatever we can there, and just hosting special events, bringing people together as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Now, for those that, if they want to donate to the Girls Inc., if they want to help in any type of way, how can they do that?
Yep, so they can just go right on our website. It's right on our homepage. And there's the information for our luncheon, and on that are our celebration events. And what will happen there's a link for donations, and there's also, you can reach out directly to us. All of the contact information is there, and we also have our Venmo account as well, which is posted on the website.
All right, now if they want to reach you, if any parents want to have their daughters involved in the Girls Inc. or become part of the Girls Inc., how can they do that?
They can reach out to me directly if they would like to. I'm happy to kind of figure out what program makes the most sense. They can also reach out to Lena Crowley, who is the director of middle and teen programs. But I'm happy, I can share my email with you if you'd like me to do that. I'm happy to talk to any parents, answer questions, anything like that.
Okay, you could just plug your email, and I'll make sure I put a graphic on there for it.
Perfect.
All right, and then we got through it.
Did
that was a quick 15 minutes.
it.
That was a quick. Well, Melody, thank you once again for coming on. I'm sure we will be working with you guys as we always do to, with whatever you guys have going on, events and all the good stuff that you guys are doing. But thank you for taking your time to speak with me. This was very good and very appreciative and informing of everyone what's happening with the Girls Inc.
Awesome. Happy to report on it. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, not a problem. You guys have been watching the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host, Mikhail Kabongo. Have a great day.